Hello, I'm Winnie Byanyima. I lead the work of the United Nations to end AIDS. COVID-19 has left many bereaved and left everyone scared. It's not a health issue only. It's a profound economic and social crisis that is worsening existing inequalities, hitting vulnerable people the hardest. It has knocked back our work on AIDS. Nevertheless, I'm optimistic. We have the UN Sustainable Development Goals, the global goals, which include ending the AIDS epidemic by 2030 and ensuring healthy lives for all. Meeting these goals can seem especially challenging right now. But you know what? 40 years of fighting AIDS has taught us something vital about beating pandemics. It has taught us that what drives breakthroughs is the power of people. People living with HIV stood up and demanded free treatment for everyone, equality and rights for all without discrimination. They fought for those most affected to shape and to deliver services for their communities. Across the world, people organized and challenged political leaders and challenged leaders of companies to turn around their policies. Then change began to happen. Today, 25.5 million people are on life-saving HIV treatment. 12 million more need to get on treatment. This struggle continues. But even now, in the COVID crisis, we've seen how grassroots groups, including groups of people living with HIV, have mobilized to support their national COVID responses. We've seen communities document and challenge human rights violations, and we've seen several governments shift their approaches as a result. Communities are demanding free and quality health care for all people, and a number of governments are taking steps towards that. We've also seen an inspiring and powerful coming together of groups from across the world in the People's Vaccine Campaign. They are insisting that all COVID vaccines and treatments discovered be global public goods. The campaign is rooted in the painful lessons from AIDS, when new treatments took too long to reach people in need. People in rich countries were living while those in poorer countries were left to die. This deadly and shameful delay in ensuring access to HIV treatment must never happen again. When a vaccine against the coronavirus is discovered, it must be available free of charge to everyone, everywhere, at the same time. This will only be possible if knowledge is shared, so that vaccines can be produced in vast quantities by as many manufacturers as possible across the world. It must be a people's vaccine. That is why UNAIDS, together with our partners who have been fighting AIDS, we are calling on all to make this a reality by joining and contributing to multilateral solutions, the CETAP, the COVAX, and the ACT Accelerator. We make this call because health is a human right, not a privilege. It must never depend on the money in your pocket or the passport you happen to carry. We must ensure that people are put before profits, human rights held above property rights, and the global public good put above national interest. To beat COVID, beat AIDS, and achieve all the other global goals may seem especially challenging now. But the answer is not to shift dates or move the goalposts. We also can't go back to normal because normal was the problem. We must reset. We need to renew our multilateral system and make it more legitimate, more inclusive, and effective. We need a new multilateralism with a new concept of global solidarity, where all governments tackle inequalities in their own countries and between countries, so all people everywhere live with dignity. We must assert human rights against any kind of discrimination, especially racism, and we must guarantee gender equality. These are prerequisites for realizing health for all and for a secure and a just world. In a renewed multilateralism, healthcare and education should be global public goods provided to all people everywhere, free at the point of use, and financed by supporting governments' ability to collect domestic revenues. This will require a global corporate tax reform and collaboration. At the heart of the United Nations founding vision is we, the peoples. UNAIDS works to realize that vision through a joint partnership that connects 11 UN agencies working together, and in which civil society is not just a partner to engage with, but is part of the governance, not only having a voice, but having power in the partnership. I'm optimistic because of what people have achieved together in fighting AIDS already, and because the collective movement that people have been building will enable us to beat AIDS, beat COVID-19, and beat inequality, and achieve all the goals. I'm optimistic because of the power of people.